Call to order Village of Milan workshop Wednesday, May 12th, 2021 at 5:30 PM. Roll call, Mayor Pro Tem Brumbelow,
Present.
Trustee Archuleta,
Present.
Trustee Baca,
Present.
Trustee Lopez is absent. Prayer and the pledge. Trustee Brumbelow, would you do the prayer and I'll do the pledge?
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us safely here tonight. We ask that you guide us through this meeting for the best of our community and watch over our sick and our elderly, and please watch over our armed forces wherever they may be. We ask this in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Citizens to address the board. Do we have any citizens to address the board?
I have a letter that was sent, and it was just a gentleman from Milan that was asking if we could take care of the trash on the vicinity of 1400 Berry Hill, but that he also wanted to point out that everybody's doing a good job to try and clean up Milan at the same time. So I thought that was very nice of him to say. It was Mr. L.B. Montoya.
That was good, thank you. Discussion, organizational chart.
So we had an updated organizational chart in a while, and Denise brought it to my attention. So on May 3rd, we went and added everybody, like the police chief, we updated on there, and then we updated Michael Cavan's position to animal control code enforcement.
Are we gonna leave Gloria's like that for now?
Yeah.
And then how about on the fire chiefs here, who throughout the day, who's connected to him now?
Oh, his Daniel and the volunteers?
No, I understand that. I understand. As far as you're covering Carl here and Denise here.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Who's over him? Well, I will let you guys decide who you would like for him to go to.
Because that's on the day-to-days anyway.
Yes.
So I'll figure that out.
Didn't we already appoint Michael to do that?
That's changed since now. I mean, since the last meeting we had.
How did that change?
Did it not? Well, the position changed. His position changed.
Is there a Daryl in there?
Do you want to continue to leave it that way?
We had him that way for the police department, we had him that way for chief, we had him for the two departments.
That's changed.
So if it's all changed, then
Did that not, Sarah?
Yes.
So we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's personnel matters, so we cannot discuss that in an open
Okay.
meeting. So yes, that did change.
That's fine.
We're trying to get the guy on the phone, Chris, that you talked to last week.
Oh,
So we're
yes.
having a little technical.
Oh, there he is.
difficulty.
That's fine.
There we go.
Do we need to approve this now then? That's the reason I asked.
Hello, everyone.
Suggest that we wait until we get it correct.
Okay, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, and this is a meeting just for discussion, so I can try and get it corrected by next week's meeting, and then you
Oh,
can.
that's right.
You
Okay,
can
yeah, it's a
approve it.
workshop, huh?
We haven't done a workshop in a while, right?
I'm already in meeting mode.
Okay, moving on, we go to membership with Council of Governments.
That is our annual agreement with the COG. Is that the whole thing, Denise? It looks like it's kind of cut off.
Just the bottom paragraph, you show me what it's right.
Okay,
It's just the signature line.
it's the
Okay.
same thing as last year with an updated fiscal year.
the amount is the same,
Amount is the same.
so that'll be on the agenda.
For next week.
questions? Comments?
Not on that one.
Okay, next we have Maribel Park options.
So Denise gave you a map of Maribel Park. And the part in the yellow is.
Curb.
Okay, so there's some options that we were looking at trying to do for Maribel Park depending on funding. I know that the mayor has pointed out that people are riding their four-wheelers on there. We're worried about vehicles going on that area where they put the new gutter. So we would like some direction. So I believe George did this map and they're color coded by different options. The yellow would be a curb and gutter type option that Jack had presented. The blue part would be a chain link fence around the let's see, the east, west, and south part of the park. And the north part of the park, we could do the matching black fence, but it's going to be very expensive and use up what we have for carryover. Yeah, it's going to be more than the carryover. I think our carryover is 32,000, and Jack got a price for 38,000, and that's just for the purple part.
And they set those gates in already, huh? The black ones,
That was part of the contract.
just the gates were.
And the little tiny bit we got.
I'd rather go chain link. We should have went chain link all the way around and just matched it all out.
No, we can take those dates down. They're not permanent.
Okay, well,
How many estimates did they get?
It's hard to get estimates right now. I believe Jack got the one estimate for the black fencing, and I believe he said it was going to be around 10,000 for the chain link fence. And then we need to decide where you guys want your gate openings and if we want gates or not. I think we should go with the gates. It's $500 for the gates. It just at night, since we have a curfew, we can lock it down and hopefully keep our park nice. So
It's actually 18,000 for the chain.
18,000.
Goes off the in between there.
And then for that black fence, I mean, it's gonna be well over.
So your option could be to chain link this whole area and not worry about this yet, and see if at some time later on we could get more funding for that. Or you can try to go for that, but that funding is only going to cover just this area. With the funding we have left over, we should be able to do this area.
Way more
With
than
the chain
enough
link.
for the chain.
I do too. I think chain link would be
Yeah.
more
We
important.
ain't able to go all the way around with chain link.
We could. It is up to you guys and your discretion. I think the other portion Jack was trying to get done, and that's where the 9,000 comes in, the curb and gutter. He was trying to get the curb and gutter on the outside of that, where it's all black all the way around. That's only 1 inch thick. We have weeds popping up out of it already.
So they wanted to at least do the chain link around this side and then
The chain link
curb and gutter also.
inside, on the inside part where the blue is, and then the yellow would be curb and gutter, so nobody can drive into the park. But if we put part of that's also not just so they can drive into the park, so if we put the fence up, that'll prevent that, but part of that curb and gutter will keep them off the track, because the chain link fence will be on the inside of the track, but it also protects the drainage. The
Inside of
drainage
the
is,
track. The track's gonna be on the outside of the fence?
it's already, yeah, that's just how it's built,
In order to keep ADA compliance now.
yeah.
Okay.
So the curb and gutter would prevent people from driving on the track, for the most part.
And then we'll have to figure out where we're gonna put the spots, the openings for them to come in with the equipment anyway, right? To
Right.
maintain the park.
When we did that last walk around over here at Maribel Park, they were talking that, this curb and gutter, we could go and talk to CNE Concrete about, they had a special deal they were testing. I don't know if anybody looked into that. And they were gonna pave this street here for a sample. No, nobody's talked to them?
There's no hope.
Huh?
There's no hope.
No, then why didn't Jack tell me about that guy saying that?
Yeah, I told you that.
This street along here, that
I need to
CNE
get it on
Concrete is trying a new paving, and maybe we could get them to sample that block right there. And then this over here. To keep the weeds down. But I still think they ought to go looking around.
For
Several different.
talking curb and gutter or talking the fence?
Several quotes.
for the fence?
Just standing for one quote for each thing, that's not
No,
enough.
I've gotten several. 18,000 is the lowest quote that I've gotten, and they're actually state contractors, the people that design it from. But our guys would have to do it. That's just chain link stuff. The one company that I did get to call me back on the curb gutter said that it's well out of our range that we have. So we could give them a
The
little
guys would
more
have to install the chain link that we're purchasing.
price. It's just material.
I think.
And
we
how
need
much
to
do they
keep
charge
it.
for installation also?
I didn't put installation, it's gonna be.
I still say we need more quotes. And if you have more quotes, we should have a list, please.
Guys can't handle that. I was just saying because they usually come with a warranty.
Yeah.
I'd rather do the installation.
And we have close to 32,000 left, so we can pay for the installation, but we're not gonna be able to do chain link and curb
Right.
with just what we have.
Just quote it anyway. Let's see what it runs.
So we can do that and then for our meeting, we go decide. Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a list to check out, see who,
Okay. That sounds good.
You guys good with that?
You okay with that?
Sound good?
yeah, I'd like to see more quotes.
Okay, next we have the preliminary budget.
So our preliminary budget, I'm working on that right now. We may need to hold a special meeting after next week's meeting because we're having a little bit of issues with our payroll uploads from the payroll company and I'm trying to work with Gloria to get through that. So I'm just letting you know now, we might not be able to have it ready by the 20th, but we got to do it this month because it is due June 1.
That'd be fine.
Okay. And then at next week's meeting, we'll have economic development, the chamber and transit come in and talk about whether or not you guys want to keep sponsoring them or sponsor them, etc.
Do we still pay into chamber?
No.
When did that quit?
I'm not sure. Do you remember that? Do we pay into it?
We should, it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was under the impression that we did not pay into them.
We did not.
Yeah, I don't think we do. According to her, we don't.
About 2 years before I left, I called them because I wanted to negotiate the rate, and they said we didn't have to pay anything. They were gonna put us on honorary members.
Oh,
So we quit paying them.
Yeah, she did tell me we didn't pay them, so I didn't think I saw that in the budget. But you have her proposal, and it's very detailed, just like economic development. So if you guys take the next week to please look through it and see what you think.
we will have economic development on the agenda because they have a presentation.
Yes, so they all will be here to present their organizations.
Okay, anything else?
So we also have Daryl on our YouTube page. He wants to do a presentation. I guess he spoke a little bit with Chris about it, so I'm gonna assume it has something to do with water sewer.
No,
No?
no. Actually, from what I picked up, I spoke with him briefly, but it's about an app for your cell phone and stuff that when you come to Milan, if you're looking for restaurants, if you're looking for room and board, if you're looking for swimming pools, anything you're looking for in Milan will be on this app. So you just go to the app, the town you're in, and it brings up everything that you're looking for, all your needs, all the places to eat, stuff like that.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's everything, but that's kind of what I could.
Summed it up. Okay, great.
So I
we'll-
told him to
we'll bring
present
him
it to all of us so we all understand what's going on.
That'd be okay. We had myself and the Mayor Pro Tem Brumble and Mr. Carver had a meeting and he was discussing the Rio San Jose at the farm. So he asked if we could somehow get some of those barriers that they use for the construction companies that they use. And so I got a hold of Mr. Lundstrom, Charles Lundstrom, and then he referred me to Larry Maynard. And I asked Denise, and she drafted a letter requesting. But when I talked to to Larry, he says we requested 300 of those buried, but he said won't even come close to that. So whatever they give, I guess they're going to donate them. Those barriers we can put on the Ralph Card side, the Ralph Card Road on that side. So four-wheelers don't come into the Rio San Jose. And so whatever they give, we'll be grateful, but I don't know how many. I don't know how many. No.
Okay, Mr. Singleton, we're ready for you to start.
Hello? Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Thank you for giving us time to present. My name is Daryl Singleton, and I'd like to also introduce Jeff Friedman, the VP of Sales, and Eddie Gillis, our Chief Engineer. I appreciate your time, Mayor Gonzalez and Susan and all the council members. I'm going to see if I can share my screen here. Let's see here. Open system preferences. There we go. Can you all see my screen right now?
Not yet.
Tell me when you can see it. Not yet?
Mm-mm.
Huh. Okay. I'm going to let my engineer take control. There we go. Now can you see our screen? I'm not sure if they can hear me.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah, I can just barely hear them and I can't raise the volume. Oh, they can hear us. Great,
Okay.
great. Okay, one of the things that we're going to go over, we just want to get a really good dive at what some of your concerns are in your city and what you're trying to accomplish. In 2021, we specialize in what you call multi-screen as a service, and that's basically having the ability to have mobile apps. We work with a lot of major companies, which you will know. We have 3 offices, one in Irvine, one in San Diego, one in Miami, and we are headquartered in Austin, Texas. We're a 100% US-based company, and we're a public company. We've done quite a bit of work, like I say, for NBC, Live Nation, NASCAR, the NFL, and what we've provided them is mobile apps. You can go to the next slide. This kind of shows our migration from 2009. We've been a company since 2009, and we've specialized in making mobile applications. This has become a mobile app first world. When people want information or what time the office is open or different locations for events, most people have smartphones today, and most people, the first thing they do is they go to their smartphone and check a mobile app to get all their information. One of our goals is to increase citizen participation so you can inform them completely through a mobile app all at once, instantaneously, and you can actually go in and make changes should things change. Now, as you can see, way back in a little after 2010, we did an app for ESPN, the NFL, NASCAR, CBS, Fox, American Airlines, and we have, and these are at the bottom, it shows you some of our financial. We've acquired several companies, merged with several companies. So we've been very busy the last 13 or 15 years. If you could go to the next slide. We've got quite a few large name customers that we've created very nice apps in healthcare, media entertainment, cities, smart campus for colleges, smart workplace. We've been working with these companies for quite a while. They're very large companies. They have a lot of people accessing their mobile apps to get information or to be informed or to actually send back information to the particular companies on polling or to give them advice. We also have quite a few partners that we deal with. On the next slide. Yeah, we have strategic partners and integrated partners, and you'll probably recognize some of these names with Oracle and Presidio and Tech Data. We have partnerships with these type of companies because they provide services, and we're integrated as well with these companies so they can provide our packages along with their own. Our platform touches 1 out of 10 devices globally. So we're very large. We have a lot of participation with a lot of cell phones hitting the apps that we've prepared for a lot of major companies. You can kind of take a look at the numbers. We have 1 billion monthly active devices worldwide. So people connect to us on many different sites for many different reasons. And that's not only our apps can be used externally, like for in your case, to your citizens, as well as it can be used internally for the council members to communicate together, or for if there's a leak somewhere, a major water leak somewhere, you can reach out to all your citizens all at once and give them information of stay away from Park Street because there's a major leak on Park Street from the water department. All of this can be managed through your app, so you can really inform your citizens of what's going on. Nowadays, I know it might not happen in your town, but in a lot of towns around the world, for security, if there's something going on like an active shooter or something of that sort, you can imagine that you could inform all your people through their smartphone and let them know, stay away from Ford Street, there's an active shooter. We need everyone to stay out of police's way. These are the kind of things you can do from a mobile app. You see, when you have an app on your computer, everyone doesn't have a laptop with them, but almost everyone has a cell phone with them. So you can communicate with them and you can do it instantaneously. We've had solutions for aviation, healthcare, hospitality, media, residential, smart city, and smart campus. Smart city would be your focus, and we have a slew of products that can address a lot of cities' needs. Okay, a lot of their needs with being able to communicate to their constituency and let them know what's going on within the community. Now we have three basic flavors. One is the basic package. This is the basic package that we offer you. It's got everything in there that you could use, and you can add on at any point that you would want to add on more services. Okay, we also have an a la carte. For a lot of cities, they have a couple of mobile apps, like maybe they have a mobile app with the police department or the water department, but they're all separate apps. So we can put together an a la carte service where we can enhance what you're currently using, make it better, put it all under one umbrella, so all the mobile apps can work together, where a citizen can go to the mobile app, and all the information, how to pay your water bill, parking within the city, all the different information, all the different apps you can find in one location. That's one thing we can do for a lot of cities, as well as we have a custom solutions. For a lot of our larger clients, they want custom solutions. They want particular things within their app. We can customize an app for you completely. So these are things we can do. Our apps are very modular, so you can take part of the app, all the app, just pieces of the apps to enhance what you're currently doing, and we can tie a lot of things together within the city. Most cities we deal with have very similar departments. Water department, parks department, different departments you can all put under one app. You can all communicate. Citizens can communicate with you through that app. People working for the city can also communicate internally, and they're both separate because you'll have different accesses. They're both separate, and you can. It's really good. A lot of some of our cities have a portal on their app where citizens can report potholes. If there's a pothole at 37th and Park Street, they could report that there's a pothole, maybe even take a picture and send it to you. So that way, your crew who's taking care of the roads within your city, they'll know where it's at, they'll know what they need to fix, and they can take a look at it. These are things you can do on a mobile app that kind of bring your citizens closer to you and more engaging, so they can kind of help you and you can work with the city. Another good thing about a mobile app is that, let's say in the next couple of months, there's a lot of events coming up. I think you've got Memorial Day, you've got the 4th of July. There's going to be a lot of events in the city, and of course, parking's always a problem almost in every city with these events. You can reach out to all your citizens and let them know that these 3 streets will be closed down for the 4th of July festivities. There'll be no parking here after Friday at 2 o'clock. And everyone should park in parking lot B on Jefferson Street. These are the kind of things that you can inform your citizens so that they're more engaged, they get the information, and at the last minute, if you should change things, you can do it on the fly on an app where it's very easily, and it can be sent out to all the people connected. One of the first things we typically do for a lot of our cities, we have what you call digital front door. It provides the residents convenience and control. It can consolidate mobile services, as I just talked about, and unify the platform so that all your citizens can get used to going to one place and finding out all the information they would need about a particular topic, as well as emergency management services. A lot of our citizens in particular cities, they work with hospitals. You know, nowadays, especially because of Corona, there's a lot of people seeing their doctors via video and telemanagement via video, and they're communicating in that respect. You can communicate with the emergency room to the local hospital within your area. These are things you could all do from a mobile app. You could work with the hospitals. Our key is to get your citizens engaged. Our apps allow them to become more engaged in what's going on in the neighborhood, different events, emergency healthcare, different things that they can engage in the city. And as those things change or migrate or get bigger or move, you can really let them know on the fly. ABC Hospital has just purchased another building on Park Street. This will be for a particular type of surgery or whatever. These are things that you can really get out to all of your citizens to make their life easier, to kind of let them know what's going on in the neighborhood. If there's any government services that have been added or changed, you can actually communicate to them in an easy way. We also have, we can track and we can analyze and prevent exposure. We have contact tracking, location tracking. It works similar to GPS, but it's on different devices where we can track if there's a lot of citizens going into a certain area, or if you're trying to communicate, if two citizens are trying to communicate with each other. If one is at the zoo, and let's say it's a huge crowd, and they want to reach their wife that got there an hour earlier, they can track exactly to each other. These are things like this that we can use through path tracing. Also, a lot of local businesses engage in these city apps, especially local businesses that are really trying to grow within your community. They can engage your app, be a part of your app, be on your app, so that while people are looking how to pay their water bill, they realize that Mike's hardware store is having a sale for the next month or for the summer. A lot of different businesses engage in this. It helps their business. You can help businesses within your community. So these are things that are very important to cities, especially when they're trying to bring new businesses to their city, and they can offer them a particular growth pattern through your actual app. This is, as I talked a little bit about earlier, virtual visits has become a big thing with doctors, hospitals, different types of therapy. You can do virtual visits through your app. You can make the payment through your app. Nowadays, you can do almost everything through your app, which is a great thing because it cuts out a lot of, it makes you a lot more efficient. I know in a lot of cities, when people don't know where the fireworks show is this year, there'll be people calling the number, engaging a person, and if they're busy, if the line's busy, they'll get back to them. Now you can find out all that information on an app. So if you point everyone to the app, it solves a lot of problems within cities as far as how they engage their citizens. It's quicker, it's faster, you can change it easier. You can change it easier. And these are just things that a lot of hotels, you can put hotel and restaurant information on there, city updates. If there's any new changes that, let's say, are going on through the summer month with different, what do you call it, summer care for children, or if there's any new sites for getting vaccinations or testing sites. These are all things that you can inform your citizens actually through a mobile app. They can actually pay for parking on a mobile app, environmental impacts. If they see something that doesn't look right, someone perhaps polluting in the area and they want to report it. These are a lot of things that you can address within the app, and they can reach out to you and they can definitely make it a better place to live. We have location sharing. That's what I kind of spoke about a little earlier. You can share your location, and a person, let's say if the fireworks show starts at 8 and you got there at 8, but your husband's not going to get there till 9, he's going to want to find you. And if there's a big crowd, that may be difficult. With finding location sharing, you can share your location with that person, and you can basically walk right to the spot they're at. It's monitoring their phone, your phone, and it can take you right to them. These are things that you can do on a mobile app that make life so much easier. And once you get used to it, it's very convenient, very, very efficient. We have emergency response management. You can track users' locations while they're mobile app. You can deliver important emergency updates and push this based on notifications. Now, like I said, if there, God forbid, if there's an active shooter, something of that sort, you could push this information to all of your citizens so that they're aware immediately, instantly. And like I say, almost everyone has a cell phone. They wouldn't get that information if they were driving until they got, maybe if they got home and got to the news, it may be too late by then. This is something you could push out immediately. I'm going to turn some of the technical aspects over to our chief engineer, Eddie.
Hey guys. So yes, make sure you guys can hear me. But this is our funware solution. So these are all of our products to come in the solution package today. So you'll get options around dynamic wayfinding. That's coming at Blue Dot technology, where you can route your pathways. Not everyone takes advantage of that, but that is options that are in there. There's web wayfinding. So at times where there's kiosks, or you can just go to a mobile website or just to a regular website and pull down maps and figure out directions in there, and you can print those out. There's also the mobile engagement part and content management, and I'll talk a little bit more when we get on those slides, but it's very easy to manage the engagements. And the engagements, when you start doing things like location-based services, that allows like geofencing. So maybe City Hall, you guys come down for a meeting, you pull into the parking lot, it automatically sends you a text message. Hey, I'm here. Sends everybody in the council, hey, I've arrived to city council hall, that type of things. If they're engage this with a clinic and hospital, there's other things that you can do around geofencing as well. But there's analytics, so you can see what the adoption rate would look like, some other metrics that we track in there as well around the usage of the app, and then targeted audiences. And I'll talk a bit about how our media services help get the app information out and push to your citizens and users as well. And then talk a little bit about security. So as I mentioned before, location-based services, this is where we talk about, the indoor blue dot. So if there's facilities that you might want to do blue dotting in, where we use beacon technology and Wi-Fi access points to provide routes and pathways through, like maybe a hospital, and you want to go from the ER to a radiology, we can route that pathway. They can easily pull that up on their phone if it's integrated into the app to show exactly how to get there. Those type of routes that are available as well. We can do it for the outside as well. So maybe you want to show the ability to go from one building to 3 or 4 buildings in a room in that building, where we take along the GPS signal that we get from regular GPS, kind of like your Google Maps, but integrate that into the app to use the beacon technology as well. So there's a lot of different functionalities you can use around this. And I mentioned the web wayfinding from a kiosk standpoint, but to get the big piece in this is it's a half a second metric. So every half second we're getting a ping letting us know, one, that the beacon is working, but two, also if it's getting updates from any phones that are near it, we update that data for you as well. So if people are again doing indoor blue dot or outdoor blue dot location-based services, that is updated all the time. Now, those little beacons are very small. If you go with a beacon route, they're basically the size of a hockey puck, and the battery power lasts 3 to 5 years. So it's things that you can take with that and go with theirs. Is there any questions? No. From a mobile engagement, this is where we get into alerting the citizens, right? So maybe there's a council meeting. So tonight there's a meeting going on. If everyone had the app, you can actually send them a meeting, an actual event to their phone. Hey, we have a council meeting going on tonight. If anyone wants to speak on that, things like that you're able to do. But it's relevant messages that you can send out through the platform. This is what that mobile engagement page looks like in the platform. Anyone can do this. You don't have to be a technical person. Anyone that has access, you can give access based on roles. So IT person can come in and make changes. Council members can have access and limited abilities if that's something you choose to do. But it's not a very technical piece that's in here. It's just simply being able to type text. Scheduled events, so content management. So this gets back to where you start in, city events that are going on throughout. Maybe there's cook-offs, there's the 4th of July fireworks show, but all of those type of city events that are happening, you can now send those out as notices instead of doing the old paper in the newspaper, that type of thing. Now people will get that event on their phone because it pops up as an app. It's just a notification. And these can be built and scheduled. You can put them on a schedule. So one person once a month can come in, set them, and put them on a schedule so they can go out on a timely basis. So it's something that you don't have to manage on a daily basis either. The analytics portion of this is where we start tracking that usage of the app, right? And it's data that we collect is not personal data. So yes, we will show you that's an iPhone or an Android phone, but we don't collect personal information. So in our system, we would associate that as just a I think we're kicked out. Daryl, are you still there?
Yes, I'm trying to engage them right now. Hold on. Let me see. Uh-oh.
I think we might have had 20 minutes.
Hold on. Let me see if I can write them a message. Let me call Sarah.
Okay.
Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Hello?
Yes, Sarah, please.
This is her all service.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah, because we were we dropped and we didn't know what happened. I wonder, will it come back up? Can you? Okay. Yeah, I see you. All right.
Are they still back in? Okay.
Yes, they had a technical difficulty, but they are back.
Okay. Give me 1 second. All right, I'll pick up where I left off here with the, if anyone can hear me, analytics. So again, we're going to collect metrics around the actual usage, right? You can see some of the okay. So again, we're going to collect some of that data around that, but again, we don't collect PCI, PII, or PHI type information. So none of that user data will be there. But this is metrics that you can take. It shows you the usage of your app. You can customize it. So if you have other tools you want to use for that, like a Power BI or something like that, you can export that data via API scripting. And then we have our media services. So one of the things that we've noticed over the years when we built some of our first generation type apps was the adoption rate of it. So we built really, really cool apps, ESPN fantasy football. You go to Dallas Cowboy Stadium, the app for the Dallas Cowboy Stadium, we built tons of media outlets, NBC, CW. But the adoption rate, we realized that we needed to help our regular, as we move forward and productize this more, is to get the word out around the app. So one of the things we engage with is our media services, where we can come in, we can help you market the app better. We can do slickers and maybe help with posters and banners around town that help show the app, some of the functionality to get more people engaged into it. Because if you make the investment into it, then you want to get that return on investment as well. So that's why we engage with our media services team to make sure that you get support to make sure that app is adopted properly. And behind the scenes security was one of the things we take about, as I mentioned before, no PII, PCI, or PHI type data is there. Everything's mostly encrypted through transfer of data, and then everything's done at the actual app level. So again, not collecting data on our side around information that's there. And then integration. So if you're doing things like you might use Google Docs as part of your platform, you can integrate your Google Docs into it. So you bring in calendar events, you can operate that, but that all can start out from inside of your app as well. And then there's single sign-on. So if you have maybe some single sign-on type logins, you can bring that as part of the login as well, maybe just for the city employees versus regular citizens. But those type of integrations are available in the solution as well. And again, this is the platform overview. So, we're vendor agnostic. If you want to do the wayfinding, location-based services, that's vendor agnostic. We pick and choose whichever vendor that you want to use for beacons and APs, if that's the route you want to go. Some people don't go that route and they do just the app with the digital front door. They might take the water department app, the police department app, pull it all into one single platform, and then give a city front door. So it's all your branding with the city coat of arms and everything else is there. Put that into the app, and then when people log in, I want to pay my water bill, click on it in the app, click pay water bill, and then it brings up the web interface to pay your water bill, things like that. But again, you get the content platform of all of the analytics, the mapping that's in there. So if you do build maps, those can be dynamically updated as well. So if you want to put point of interest on there that changed or newly updated points of interest, you can add that to the map. People will get the updates when they do a refresh of the actual app. And then any integration. So we are an API and SDK open platform. So anything that has that, you can build integrations into it. We can build integrations into it for you as well. And just a quick note around the process. So when we do the discovery process, this is typically done early on in there. But what it is we come in and we whiteboard out the actual process for it. What you want the app to look like. Again, if you have existing apps, we can take that, but bring all of that process in. We sit down with everyone involved with it, IT, city council, people from the water department, anybody that would have any effect this app could affect them. If they want to be involved in this, we sit down in here and we whiteboard out this whole, what this new digital front door is going to look like for the city. Then once we start that process, then we can create the app. We typically ask for one person to be the project manager, not a daily job. It's just someone that is going to be that we're going to bounce the ideas off. So as we create the app, we reach back to make sure that we're still staying in step with what was discussed during the discovery process. And then when we get to the evaluation piece, we run it through QA, our QA first. If you want to do a focal group, we can run it through a focal group as well locally, but make sure that the product, the end result is exactly how we said it was when we went through discovery, and what's the expectation out of that as well. And then we launch it. So we actually launch the app for you into your app store under your name. So it'll be in the app, Apple's app store, and it'll actually be in Android app store as well. And then anytime there's updates. So just a few weeks ago, Android did a security update. We went through and updated some of the apps that we needed to grab hold of those some security updates, and then go from there. And then ongoing support. That is something that's available, that we'll be able to support the app and support you as you continue to use the app. A lot of times, like I said before, a lot of times you have instances where you start off small, where you just do the digital front door, you bring in just the apps that are already pre-existing, and then tie those together through API integrations. But then as you grow and as people add more things, so you want to add in things like all the local restaurants in the directory. So they log into the app, they click on a page that says, here's all the local restaurants and their addresses. And now local businesses get advertisement for free through the app, that type of thing. And you can make it part of the city business plan. But that is the Funware process, the Funware platform. Is there any questions or anything that we can answer for you guys?
What's the cost on this?
They're asking about the cost.
So the cost is, I'll let Daryl handle that.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd get to that. I'm going to put together some pricing for you. Tomorrow, I will send you this deck that you've been looking at, so you've got all the information. And I'll probably see if I can reach out to Sarah or the mayor tomorrow and just find out if there's any particular questions on any specific slide. But I will definitely be working with my pricing team to give you a basic pricing we have for cities. And I should be able to get back to you. Let's see, today is Wednesday. By next Tuesday, I would think I would have some pricing for you. It could be earlier, but I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And I will stay in touch with you and make sure that you've got this slide deck so you can take a closer dive after it later. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I'll definitely make that happen for you. And I will be sending out this slide deck to you tomorrow.
Question, what size of town do they think we are?
Oh, Trustee Baca would like to know, what size of town do you think that we are?
Oh, no, I looked up everything. I think you're reaching almost 4,000 citizens now.
Very good.
Yeah, I listen, I did a lot of research on your town. You're a little bit west of Albuquerque.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very familiar. The good thing is our apps work with large cities, medium cities, and small cities. You all have citizens. They all can be engaged and informed electronically, digitally, which is a new process. And it's mainly because everyone has a smartphone these days. It's the easiest way to reach out to people other than the old-fashioned way of having them call a city number and ask a question, and then they'll call back again and again. Imagine if they had all that information sitting right on the app that they could access, especially with a lot of the holidays coming up, a lot of events coming up. This is perfect for that type of scenario for a small city like yours. So I did my due diligence. I know more about your city than I thought I ever would know at this point. And I'd like to get some pricing in your hand, and hopefully we can answer any questions you may have, and we can go from there. How does that sound?
That sounds great. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all. Thank you all for giving me this time. I greatly appreciate it. I know you're very busy and it's probably the end of your day. So I will be working on this to get some pricing in your hand very soon. And I do appreciate Sarah, Mayor Gonzalez, and all the council members and everyone else. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Okay, moving on. We have the announcements. Next Thursday is a regular meeting at 5:30.
Okay, one more question. There's an opening for transportation project funding, and it is for shovel-ready projects. There's going to be quite a bit of money in this fund. They do need a resolution. And the only shovel-ready pre-designed project that we have that we can put forth is Airport Road, because we're in the design process right now and should be ready the same time. until that design is done, I don't have a cost on it yet though, so we still have to wait on that. Hopefully by the end of next week I'll have a cost. Actually, end of this week. So, my question is, do you guys want to apply for that money? It's a 95% loan, 95% grant, 5% match.
What's the budget look like?
It's hard to tell you when we don't know the exact cost yet.
And we could request a match waiver, we've gotten it in the past, no guarantees, but 5% is not gonna be much. The
That'd be
phase
for
that-
airport road.
Yeah, the phase that we're looking at requesting for is gonna be phase 3, which is gonna be from the west of the Rio to Motel, so it's not gonna be a big stretch. The reason for that is because you've already given direction to request, map for phase 1.
Right.
And then we're gonna reach out to Water Trust Board for the bridge. So it'll be from the bridge west. So if you want me to, I can put a resolution on for next week. If you don't, we'll just put it on.
I think we have till June 15th. And we gotta have the paperwork ready and done by May 28th.
Okay, so what do we think?
If it's out there, we might as well try for it.
I agree.
That will be for phase 3 though, huh?
Right.
Phase 3.
And by the time the resolution comes before you, we'll have some amounts for it. So I won't
Yeah,
just
we
shoot for a blank amount.
Yeah, go ahead, we can do that. Any other announcements, ma'am?
The planning and zoning will have their meeting tomorrow at 5:30.
Okay, planning and zoning
4:30?
tomorrow,
4:30.
5:30.
My apologies, it's 4:30.
Okay. Planning and zoning tomorrow at 4:30. Anything else? Any other announcements? Board comments. Trustee Archuleta,
No comments.
Trustee Bata.
Mine might not be a comment, but it's a problem that I'm needing to talk about, and I have to get it done. And first question is, I would like to, this is bringing up the past, but this is leading to where we are today. I questioned you, Trustee Archuleta, that do you recall making a vote for our manager Pena's contract?
Okay.
Do you remember making
I
a
don't
vote for
recall.
it? Trustee Brumbelow, do you remember voting for it?
No.
Well, you know, we are in the midst of litigation. And I have to let the rest of the board realize and know that there's some things that I'm not very happy with that I found out while I was over there. One of the problems is they're flashing around a contract. And I'm, for one, am going to tell you, I never voted for that contract. But we have minutes here that the way they're printed says we did. How did that happen?
I typed the minutes as we're in the meeting, and you all vote on them the following month. So
Well,
The meetings were approved.
yeah, but that contract is only signed by the mayor, and our clerk stamped it with the seal.
We're looking at here. Minutes.
So my question is, how come these things are coming up now that we're in litigation and it's gonna cost us? And we knew nothing about this,
This-
myself.
Wait. This one for the 30-day extension, we did vote on. And I remember voting yes for that.
Turn it over,
Which one are you talking about now?
turn the second page.
Okay.
It says that we all four voted for this contract.
Okay.
And that's what their attorney has information from.
Do you
Now-
remember voting when we voted for the 30 days?
But yes, but not not
But not the
a
contract.
contract.
The contract for the 30 days, for need of improvement. You recall that?
But that doesn't say we voted for the 30 days. It says we voted for the contract is what they're saying.
The contract's for the 30 days.
No,
Well,
we
what's-
voted for the
what's
contract for
wrote
the
there?
$5,000 raise. I did
I
make a
don't- No, no,
motion
no,
to
no.
delay. I did make
I
a
did.
motion to postpone it for 30 days.
Right.
Well, they have a signed contract that they're holding up. So it is dated for April the 2nd also. So I went out and I went yesterday to Madam Clerk's office
I do got a question now before we
and
go
there's no
further.
copy of it.
Is this a matter for open meeting or?
Well, we don't seem to have any privacy during closed sessions, Trustee
understand
Archuleta.
that.
This is what I'm telling you about right now. We have a mole amongst us. Now, we figured that out and everything will be okay. We'll know when to have a closed session and who not to include. Because information is leaving here and going to our plaintiffs and their attorney.
That's on a personal litigation matter, isn't it?
I think
No, it's against the entire village.
Well, how come you're the one going to it? I haven't heard of it. I haven't been asked no questions.
Because I had a difference with the manager.
Sure, we
So
all
I
have
had a
issues.
deposition,
That's the
but
reason we
I
made the decision we
discovered
made.
paperwork under this deposition that nobody here knew about.
Yeah, we spoke about this last week.
Right. But I didn't get to tell you that.
We did speak about it last week.
No, we didn't. Because I wasn't allowed to tell you that. Now I'm telling you that. So I went to HR. They have no copy of this contract.
All right.
I went to the clerk's office and there's no copy of this contract on this premises, so what's wrong?
Copies of all contracts that have been signed.
Why isn't it in the folder?
You did not ask me for.
Why
contract.
isn't it in your folder and why isn't it at HR?
You asked me for minutes. Yesterday when you went into my office, you didn't tell me what you were looking for. You asked me for a copy of the minutes.
I recall you saying that it's in that folder.
The minutes were in that folder, were they not?
The minutes were, but there's no contract. Where's the
You didn't
contract?
ask me for the contract. The contract is in the contract folder. I can go pull it right now if you'd like me to.
So why isn't the personnel got a contract?
I don't control what person.
But you should be sharing with personnel, should you not?
Right?
We did discuss this last week. I mean, clear as day, the same
No.
conversation.
No, we did not,
We did.
because we
You asked
didn't
what-
have it open.
You asked if HR had it, you had it, if Sarah had
We
it. you
did
asked
not
if David
have
had
an
it.
open discussion as to how all these
Might not have
things
been an
keep
open discussion,
happening.
but we still had the same conversation.
No. We keep having all this happening where the mayor comes in and the clerk does all kinds of things. Besides, I want to know when the clerk got permission to appoint the board to projects.
We asked her to.
Requested that.
No,
And it was
Yeah.
not just myself, it was
Yeah.
myself and the manager.
we
Yeah, we
should
requested it.
all be included on those projects.
Yeah.
We
are.
couldn't have a quorum, so we chose who we felt would be the right fit for each project. So that's why we only put 2 on each project.
And you guys requested that at the last meeting.
Okay. Well, we keep having this loss of information. And I'm asking if anyone here wants to say where the information is coming from here and going to our plaintiffs and their attorney.
I haven't dealt
I
with
have no
attorneys, so
idea.
I don't know.
Not me, I don't even know who the attorneys are.
That's why I'm asking, how are you the only one dealing with the attorneys if this is based on village?
Because I'm being accused by
Problems.
the persons that got
So it's a
terminated.
personal litigation matter.
No, they're suing the village.
Yeah, it's to the village.
Trustee Archuleta, they're suing the village.
Okay, so then why are you this deep in it? That's what I'm asking.
Why?
Why are nobody else involved?
That's
none of
why
the
I'm
members?
asking. And where is this information that they
Well, I would like
supposedly
to know. I
have
would
is
like-
coming
if
from?
if that's the case, then I think we should all be involved somehow.
Well, we've asked the
they wanted to
attorneys
talk to us.
we've asked the attorneys to come down and explain to you what's happening.
I would like that.
But they're interested in finding out, we have a mole in this place. And it's only coming, the information they have is coming from closed sessions. And so if paperwork is there, I would like paperwork to be in the proper place then.
It's in the contract folder. It's not with Sarah's.
If it's a
contract or
person, if it's a
Marcella's.
personnel contract, it should be in HR.
It's gotta be with the minutes.
It's supposed to be with
yeah.
the minutes,
yeah.
but it's not in the minutes folder, so why?
It depends on how she does her organization. If she has a minutes folder and then the resolution folder and then the contract folder, then that may be how she does her organization.
But why isn't the personnel contracts in with HR?
I don't know that it's ever been done that way.
Well, Mayor
Yeah.
Knox's contract is in there that he signed for the manager. Why is it in HR? And there's no records of nothing else in HR.
And from what I gather, it's never been done that way. It's always been kept with the minutes because it's voted on in the meeting.
And I looked through the minutes and that's not where it was. So now she's saying it's someplace else. How do we know that?
I
Will
can
you go
copy
pull it?
In my office.
Will you go
right
pull
now.
it, please?
I don't know exactly which contract it is, but I'll bring it up with folder.
Mr. Rogers?
I'll bring the full folder.
But all this stuff that's going on with the legal, you know, they don't sue the village, they sue us.
Right.
And this is because of their terminations. And I want to know why they're getting information like they are. But then there was a little surprise come up. One of them who had been terminated called back to check on officer that got terminated. Why? We hadn't heard from this plaintiff since they were terminated.
I don't know what you're talking about, so I don't know. Couldn't answer that for you.
Well, I'll give you the names if you want.
I really don't need them right now.
Okay. Do you have an answer for any of it?
Are you accusing me?
No,
Okay, then no,
I know it's not you.
Then I don't.
I know
Yes,
it's not
hell
you.
in.
I would like you to see this. Thank you.
So I'm saying we shouldn't even be right on this conversation right now,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah, I think when it comes to litigation, we should not be discussing anything.
at
Until-
all,
Yeah, it should be either done in a closed session or not at all.
especially with accusations flying around.
Well, there's 2 pages to this.
So
That
you
they
got
have.
that, you could look through that. Can we move on to the next person?
Yeah, let's
Go
just
ahead.
move on because we don't want to.
That's what
Okay,
I'm asking about.
so
Okay, so you got it.
Mayor Pro Tem Rumble, do you have any comments?
You don't recall.
Where's the rest
doing
of it?
No, here's the rest of it right
Okay,
here.
I
But
don't
do
have
you
any
recall
comments
doing
either, so if there's nothing else, I need a motion to adjourn. the
I
meeting.
move we adjourn.
I second the motion.
Motion by trustee Chuleta, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Brumble. Trustee Chuleta,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brumble,
Yes.
trustee Baca,
Yes.